feel like basketball has always been a part of my life ever since the day I was born.
It is more than numbers, and most importantly, how he's changed the outlook of the franchise.
Nice move by the terrific developing play of Jalen Brunson.
And allowing your teammates to step up to the occasion. Here's Brunson, turning, wheeling, and finishing. Anunoby, his second block of Embiid. Hard finds Brunson. Brunson Euros and floats it home. Jalen Brunson.
When Jalen Brunson made his debut for the New York Knicks 2 years ago, it was already clear that he could play. However, not many would have believed that the magic lefty and his braids were the spark that the Knicks had so desperately missed all along. Just 2 seasons down the line, and the entire Madison Square Garden already can't stop singing his name. Now, for the uninformed observer, you really can't help but wonder how a player could command such ridiculous fandom after just 2 seasons. Is he really that exceptional? What impact has he really had on this New York team? And more importantly, is he the missing piece the New York Knicks have been looking for? Well, folks, today we'll be diving in headfirst to discover the exceptional journey of Jalen Brunson. And you bet it's one you definitely want to hear. Let's dive right in. Born on the 31st of August 1996 in Brunswick, New Jersey, Jalen Marquis Brunson quickly took after his father, Rick Brunson, who was also a pro basketballer in his days. Of course, this means that young Brunson literally grew up in NBA locker rooms where he usually followed his dad to every other game. And well, it all played into his hands because once the young boy got on the court, he was just, wow. Brunson attended Stevenson High School, where he was an immediate hit for their basketball team. Clearly, his NBA locker room experience had made him ever so matured at a very young age, because right from the get-go, he looked like a pro among amateurs. In his freshman year, the young boy was named in the All-Lake County selection after helping his school to an impressive outing.
I feel like basketball has always been a part of my life ever since the day I was born. He's always pushed me to be better than him, and I think every single day I don't take it for granted. I approach everything the same, every game, every practice, try to have the same mentality every time I step on the court.
As a matter of fact, that year set the tone for his entire high school career, as he would go on to win an incredible number of honors while taking Stevenson to great heights. Now get this. This lad was so crucial for the team that he once scored 56 of the 75 points in a victory that saw him shatter the, I'd say, playoff record points to pieces. Like, how is that even possible? With performances like that, it certainly didn't come as a surprise when he was named Illinois Mr. Basketball in 2015, and later went on to win the MVP award in the FIBA Under-19 World Cup in the same year. But that was not even the clincher, because get this again. The young boy went on to be named the USA Basketball Male Athlete of the Year. Yeah, you heard that right. And for a high school kid scooping up such a prestigious award, well, it was just unbelievable. But even then, young Brunson was not even nearly at the peak of his potential. And to no one's surprise, he actually went on to have an even more incredible college career. See, words would fail if we tried to describe just how exceptional Brunson was in his college years. And we'll definitely need another video to go through all his college exploits and accolades. But just to give you an idea of the whole thing, Brunson didn't just win the Big East Conference Player of the Year and the National College Player of the Year awards in his 3rd year, but he was also named the College Basketball Player of the Decade in 2019. I know, right? I mean, with a resume like that, it's very easy to see why he had to listen to the clamor from the fans and declare for the 2018 NBA drafts. It was quite a leap, all right, but we already knew there was no leap too big to faze the high-flying youngster. Now, to everyone's surprise, Brunson's introduction to the NBA wasn't the most spectacular. It wasn't just the fact that he was only selected as the 33rd pick in the drafts, but also because he had to play the 6th man role at the Mavericks for the initial part of his stint with the franchise. Of course, Brunson being Brunson never hesitated to put on a show whenever he got the chance, and even with limited game time, he still managed to put up decent numbers, thanks to his exciting style of play. You see, Brunson is a point guard, but he wasn't your typical conventional type. Of course, he still manages to dictate play, create chances, and even sink three-pointers. But at 6'2", he's definitely not a big lad and can't afford as much physicality as you'd expect.
That he has made from last season to Dallas to this season in York.
It is more than numbers, and most importantly, how he's changed the outlook of the franchise.
I'm gonna throw it to the fence if you don't jog back. Follow through though. Go back. Jog back.
I don't really care what the outside world thinks of myself and my teammates. And it is what it is, what they think. But for me, it's just all about how can I get better, how can I be more consistent.
You know, Jalen Brunson, he's stabilized this franchise, and he's kind of transformed the franchise.
The man, however, thrives by implementing a unique pattern of play, a pattern that sees him assume the role of a hustle player, as he so eloquently put it. Apparently, what the man lacks in physicality, he more than makes up for with his elite footwork and trickery, two qualities that have always been a major feature in his overall gameplay. He's often very predictable too, but not that it matters much. I mean, he's almost always gonna drive to the rim, and yet there's only little you can do to stop him from getting to it. There's always an air of inevitability about him, and about the way he plays, and about the way he carries himself. It almost borders on arrogance the way he shows you what he wants to do and still ends up doing it regardless. And he always makes sure to draw a lot of fouls too, which just makes him all the more frustrating to play against. Truly, we didn't see too much of these during his Maverick days, and for obvious reasons too. However, he's finally hit top form in New York, and we're beginning to witness the emergence of a true phenom in Jalen Brunson. Brunson's move to the New York Knicks in 2022 wasn't totally unpredictable. After all, it had come just a month after his dad was appointed as the assistant coach at the franchise. But then, what managed to remain unpredictable was the quality of players the Knicks were getting. You see, Brunson's time in Dallas wasn't a failure, but it wasn't much of a success either. If anything, it even prevented the youngster from reaching the potential his college days had promised. However, if anyone was sleeping on the caliber of talent this kid packed, well, he was about to give them a sound awakening.
I think it probably felt normal.
It did.
You know what I mean? It was like, it wasn't like, whoa, wow. It's like, no, that's where my dad works.
Yeah, it was, I just remember like when I used to meet like players like that, like it became normal. So.
Tired is for the weak. Mentally strong. Go.
Anunoby, his second block of Embiid. Hard finds Brunson. Brunson Euros and floats it home. Jalen Brunson.
What's most impressive, though, is the fact that Jalen didn't even need any time to settle into the atmosphere in New York. He was an instant hit, just like in his college days. It was hard to tell if it was because he was working with his dad again or just the fact that he was back in the arena he used to frequent as a young boy. But whatever it is, it was doing wonders for his confidence. And for the Knicks, well, they couldn't have asked for much more at such a low period in the team's history. Jalen got them playing like a proper team again. It even goes beyond just what he has to offer alone. He also possesses that unique leadership skill that brings the best out of his teammates. I mean, we already know he's capable of putting on a show on his own. He already showed us much of that with his team-leading 28.7-point average last season, but then it's more than the personal accolades for him. And that's why he creates an atmosphere that allows his comrades to thrive too. He may not be the most creative point guard out there, but he's got the likes of Randall, Hartz, and DiVincenzo hitting their best form, all because of his impact. It's just so incredible to see. Some are already calling him the next Jeremy Lin, and it's because he's come in at a time when the team is struggling for relevance and has brought hope with him. I mean, you could really see his impact on this team when you look at their playoff run last season. He was just absolutely superb, and even though they ultimately came up short in the end, you could tell the fans relished every second of the run. He's given them a player they can believe in, which is something they haven't had in a long time at least. Not since Lin himself in that crazy short spell back in 2012. Surely the entire Knicks team looks that much more solid now, and it's easily because of this man right here. He's the face of the project, the face of the franchise even, and that's why they love and adore him in these parts. The way he carries the team on his back quite summarizes it all. Plus, you just can't help but enjoy every fine little detail too, from his aesthetics and pinpoint charisma to his general demeanor and irresistible aura. The way he charges towards the basket like a predator with eyes locked on its prey, face clenched, tongue hanging out ever so slightly, and his magic number 11 shining so visibly on his back, like a superhero's cape. Tell you what, he's got the crowd on Madison Square Garden believing again, believing that glory might just be returning to New York soon. Now, with the team looking so good and also boasting a decent locker room atmosphere, it might be easy to get carried away and expect Brunson and the Knicks to easily pick up where they left off this new season. However, some off-court challenges may suggest otherwise. You see, the problem for the Knicks seems to run deeper than Brunson can fix, and currently, it's the financial condition that's the greatest challenge. Save for the addition of Mikal Bridges, who even saw the team let go of some exciting talents, the franchise hasn't pretty much bolstered its ranks as much as you'd expect. This means that they'll still be relying heavily on some Brunson magic to get through the season again. Of course, if last season was any indication, then we already know the superstar is capable by himself when he gets in the mood. But at the end of the day, there's only so much one man can do, and he'll definitely need his teammates to join the party. Heck, even so, it will be a tall order to even dream of conquering the NBA just yet. The good news for the Knicks, however, is that they still have their star man running the show for them, and that's all that matters. He's managed to do what no one has done in the past decade.
The one thing I learned about myself, no matter what, nothing changes for me.
Nice move by the terrific developing play of Jalen Brunson.
And allowing your teammates to step up to the occasion. Here's Brunson turning, wheeling, and finishing.
And how it has reached this point now where you're on the Garden floor hearing MVP chants and you're going to the All-Star game.
Which is managing to get the New York faithful smiling again. Smiling at the prospect of redemption, and it's all because of this man, Jalen Brunson. So there you have it, folks. Do you think the New York's talisman is what the Knicks have missed all along? And if so, do you see him restoring them to their glory days? Feel free to tell us in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that subscribe icon for more exciting videos about your favorite NBA stars.